Hi, this is Coach Pete with academicrecruits.com, coming to you today to give you some pointers and tips on how to make sure the recruiting process goes as smoothly as possible. 3 points I think stand out above the rest. The first one is you have to do your work early. You have to be proactive. You should not wait around for college coaches to find you. You should go find them. You should not wait till the end of your senior year to take the SAT. You should not wait until the spring of your senior year to apply to schools. If you reach out to colleges the spring of your junior year and let them know, here's my name, here's my summer schedule, here's some clips, here's my transcript, here's my contact information, please come see me play. You'd be surprised how many schools will actually come see you play. I think a common misperception and mistake that too many families make is they believe that colleges walk around in July aimlessly, wandering from gym to gym, hoping to find some kids we like, which isn't true, especially in Division I and at the elite academic schools as well. Coaches work off a detailed daily schedule from 8 a.m. to 10 at night in July. They know exactly what kid they're going to see. They know exactly what gym they're going to be in. So if you can reach out to those schools before July to let them know that you exist, you'll be much better off compared with entering July having done nothing whatsoever to help yourself, wishing or hoping to be discovered. And I think that the message of doing your work early also applies to applications, college applications, and the SAT. I think it's a mistake to wait around to apply to schools when so many of the elite academic schools have January application deadlines. So if you wait around till February, well, you have no chance to go to those schools. On the SAT, if you take it spring of your junior year or fall of your senior year and you don't do as well as you like, you haven't given yourself time to correct it, to prepare yourself properly, to take it again, to do it over, and to eventually get the score you need to go to the university or college of your dreams. So again, the first point is be proactive and do your work early. Second point I want to mention is, and I think this is equally critical, you have to cast a wide net. I wanted to play Division I, I'm sure you do too. It doesn't work like that for everybody. So let's say that you have a couple of Division I schools recruiting you. They're calling you on the phone, they've asked you up for a visit maybe, but there's not a scholarship offer, you haven't really even talked to the head coach that much, and in the meantime, you have Division IIs and Division IIIs calling you every day, but you don't even return their phone calls because in your mind, well, I'm hearing from a Division I school, so that's that. Well, it doesn't necessarily work like that. Just because you're hearing from a Division I school doesn't mean that they're going to offer you a scholarship, and just because they offer you a scholarship doesn't mean that scholarship offer is going to hold up and be legitimate when it comes time to sign the papers. So my advice to you is cast that wide net. Answer the emails of schools, whether those schools interest you or not. Return phone calls, whether those schools interest you or not. And the reason being, things might seem like smooth sailing right now, but you don't know what the future holds. So until the ink is dry on your letter of intent, you're much, much, much better off answering every phone call, returning every email, casting as wide a net as possible. And to get back to the earlier point with casting a wide net, a lot of these schools have application deadlines, so you have to not just cast a wide net, you have to do your work early. And the last point that is kind of all-encompassing is just the importance of persistence. You're going to have doors slammed in your face. I guarantee it. You reach out to schools spring of your junior year like you're supposed to do, you let them know that you exist, and you're going to have a lot of coaches who don't email you back. You'll also have coaches who email you back and say, thanks but no thanks, we don't think you're good enough. And my message to you is be persistent. Don't give up. And keep in mind that college coaches have a cynicism about a random lead. If you reach out to a college coach, it's easy for him to assume, well, if this kid was good enough, I would have already heard of him. Now, of course, that's outrageous because any Division III All-American is a Division I player who got missed. So kids get missed all the time. But college coaches oftentimes, especially at Division I schools, are cynical about random leads. They figure if a kid is recruiting me, he must not be good enough. So you will have doors slammed in your face as you begin to market yourself and be proactive and cast a wide net. And again, you can't give in. As a former Division I coach, at least 9 out of 10 of the random leads I received, the kids weren't good enough. So understand that the cynicism on the part of college coaches regarding random recruiting leads, it is somewhat justifiable. So you are facing kind of an entrenched perception that is entrenched because oftentimes it's true. So you're going to be fighting against that. And so again, it's critical to understand that you're going to have doors slammed in your face, but you have to be persistent, and you have to fight through it. There's a quote from President Calvin Coolidge, who was president of the U.S. in the 1920s. I might flub it up a little bit, but it goes like this. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. The world is full of unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan "Press On" has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. I think it's a great quote, and it's definitely applicable not just to the recruiting process, but to the rest of your life. And I'm going to finish with a story about a kid named Robbie Delaney, who played for us at Lafayette College in the Patriot League. Robbie he wanted to go Division I very badly. At the end of the day, that did not materialize. He had a lot of schools interested, but no scholarship offers quite came down the pipe. So Robbie committed to go to Williams College, which is an elite Division III academic and athletic school. And he was happy about that decision. But the coach who recruited him left to go to Bucknell. So now Robbie felt, well, I don't know if I want to go to Bucknell anymore because I don't even know who the new coach is going to be. So Robbie called us at Lafayette and said, hey, I might want to come to Lafayette and walk on, which means he can join our team but not with a scholarship. And we would have loved to have had Robbie because he was a good player, but it was May. And our application deadline was January 15th. So we said, Robbie, we'd love to help you, but we can't. There's no way. And Robbie said, oh, don't worry about that, coach. I already applied to Lafayette. I've already been accepted. We weren't even recruiting him, but he was smart enough to be proactive, to do his work early, to cast a wide net, to be persistent. And so then it went from us not being able to help him at all, even though we would have loved to have had him in our program, to where it was easy, to where it was almost hard for us to say no, because the excuses we were giving him why he couldn't join our team were not valid. He had already done his work to make sure that whatever excuse or reason we thought we had, it wasn't legit, because he had his ducks in a row. Well, Robbie is going to be a senior at Lafayette this year, and he's going to start for the Leopards for the second straight year. And Lafayette just went to back-to-back Patriot League championship games, and Robbie Delaney's been a huge part of that. Had he not applied to Lafayette College already, had he not done his work early, had he not been proactive, had he not cast a wide net, had he not been persistent, that kid had hundreds of doors slammed in his face, and he never gave up. And at the end of the day, he's had a magnificent career. He's made a ton of great friends. He's getting a high-quality degree, and he's lived his dream. And my message to you is that if you do your work early / be proactive, if you cast a wide net, and if you're persistent and determined and dogged, I believe you can live your dream too. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back at you soon with some more tips on how to make the recruiting process go a little bit better. Thanks, guys.